Okay, before we start things off, I am not an Oilers fan. I am a McDavid, Draisaitl, and Yamamoto fan. Also, funny story, I got this at a Marshall's in the States. It was really, really cheap. But I wanted to give a big shout out to Benchworm on Instagram, Benchworm Matt on Twitter, and Benchworm on Reddit. Because I saw this Reddit post over here, this 31 wallpapers of NHL teams that no one will use, and I thought this is something that I have to show off to my audience because this is so cool, it's so creative, and Benchworm did an incredible job in making these logos. Before we go on to what actually these logos look like, just the title itself can kind of give it away. Here are 31 wallpapers that no one will use. The first one is a palette of all of these different logos. What we have here are 30 logos of NHL teams that combine NHL teams. This is one way to tick off an entire league's worth of a fan base just with one simple internet post. So I know you can see some really nice looking ones over here. Let's go throughout the entire way through. First up, we have the Boston Bruins logo in the style of the Habs logo. This is really clever. The Habs C is inverted, and the little curved part on the bottom is used to make the top part on the B. It's a B shape. Instead of it saying H on the inside, it says B, so this is the Boston Bruins logo. Going over onto the next one, this is the Buffalo Sabres logo. Classic style, by the way, in the style of the Toronto Maple Leafs. You can see the leaf underneath here. The leaf lines on the nose of the buffalo and on top. Also, the shape of the buffalo's head itself is in that leaf shape. Over here, this is the Detroit Red Wings. Instead of in the wing style, though, it's got Chicago Blackhawks feathers. This looks so discreet, so low-key and subtle, but it actually works so well. I love the look of this right here. This could be like a beer league hockey jersey logo. Actually, all of these could, to be honest. Next up, it's the Florida Panthers logo in a very obvious tribute to the Dallas Stars. I gotta say though, it looks really nice having the F with the star over here. Also, the colors blending themselves together looks really nice in my opinion too. So this one's another really great logo. Scrolling down here, this is the one I use in the thumbnail. It is the Montreal Canadiens logo in the style of the Boston Bruins. It's very easy to see the elements of the Bruins logo that were used in this Canadiens logo. You got the circle, you got the clockwork kind of thing, the rectangles, and the logo's initial on the start there. Scrolling down a little bit more, this is the Ottawa Senators logo, but it looks very similar. The only difference is, that's not an Ottawa Senator, that's Austin Matthews. Yeah, it's a pretty good one. Next up, it's the Tampa Bay Lightning logo with a lot of Columbus Blue Jackets elements within the frame. This looks incredible. It looks so sleek, so cool. It looks like a badge of honor somehow. And I think just the lightning bolt behind the flag over there looks really cool in my opinion. Next up, it's the Toronto Maple Leafs in the style of what looks to be the Winnipeg Jets logo. That is the Jets' kind of little emblem behind the jet on top of the circle. It makes sense to me why they would go with this because of the whole Matthews versus Laine thing, but at the same time, this looks like a pretty interesting Maple Leafs logo. It's got a Maple Leaf flag on it, looks really nice. I think they did a good job with this one too. Next up, this one is the St. Louis Blues logo, but with a heavy influence of Chicago. Or actually, I think it's just the Chicago Blackhawks logo in the shape of the Blues logo. This looks so cool. Oh my goodness. Look at these lines over here. The feathers and the outline to make a musical note. Looks really nice. It almost looks like somebody holding up a flag with these feathers on it. If you imagine this is like a polar bear or whatever, and that's like a fingernail, I don't know what I'm talking about. But this is probably my favorite one that we've seen so far, this St. Louis and Chicago mix. It looks absolutely beautiful. Next up, it's the Colorado Avalanche logo in the style of the Vancouver Canucks. Now, I don't necessarily know why Vancouver was chosen as the Colorado inspiration. We haven't really had a rivalry since like the mid-2000s, and even then that rivalry was mostly dominated by Colorado, but this looks really nice, honestly. I like how the colors match, the blue, the maroon, the white, and the darker blue. It makes a really nice logo, and I like how he incorporated a mountain behind the text to give off that indication that we are in Colorado. Looks really nice, not gonna lie. Next up, this is the Dallas Stars logo in the style of the Florida Panthers. So we have ourselves what looks to be a constellation, there's a star, and the badge is a very, very nice created piece over here. Looks like something that I used as Black Ops emblem back in the day when I was playing Call of Duty, and the text up here really seals the deal. This looks like a really cool badge of honor somewhat. I could like put this as a little patch on my backpack or whatever. Next up, this is the Minnesota Wild logo that looks really similar to the normal one, but it's inverted and it's in the outline of the Nashville Predators logo. It even has that big saber tooth going over there and another little fang down here. Looks really nice. I like the combination over here. And that means the next one is the Nashville Predators logo in the style of the Wild logo. So the eyes are a little bit open here. There's no big tooth over there like there was last time. And it's inverted, so it's flipped the other way. These look really, really nice, honestly. Like, they look almost super similar to their original logos at first glance, but after analyzing it a little bit more, you know, you can totally see the inspiration from either side. Next up, it's the St. Louis Blues logo in the style of the Bruins. It says Blues, it says St. Louis. There's a bear on there because that's what the Bruins logo had. But overall, this looks like a really interesting badge as well. Next up, it's the Winnipeg Jets logo in the style of the Leafs logo. Instead of that little Canadian flag behind the Jet, it is the Toronto Maple Leafs logo, complete with the lines as well. So those leaf lines have injected themselves behind this Jet over here. It's very subtle, but it works in my opinion. Next up, it's the Carolina Hurricanes in the style of the Caps logo. This one actually looks really slick. They even included the colors. This is not a blue, this is a black, and the 3 dots over here are, I don't know what they symbolize, but it looks really slick. I could see this on a jersey or whatever. I think it looks really, really nice. Next up, the Columbus Blue Jackets in the style of the Penguins. This is retro right here, folks. Columbus, Blue Jackets, the Penguin has a little hornet on its head and wings behind its back. Also the colors combining look for a really nice collage over there. Next up, it is the New Jersey Devils, looking like the New York Rangers logo. This kind of pisses me off just looking at it, but like, I can admire how aesthetically pleasing it is. The symmetry, the black, the red, and the white. It looks very nice, not gonna lie. Next up, it is the New York Islanders logo. This one looks really, really nice as well. It's in the style of the Rangers as well, because this is the classic, what would have been the Lady Liberty logo. NYR would have been here instead of NYI. It almost looks so subtle enough that it could have been an Islanders logo on its own, but it looks really, really nice. I didn't even recognize the Rangers elements before I actually, you know, took a look at it in depth. And of course, because we had the Islanders and the Rangers, we just have to have the Rangers and the Islanders. This is the Rangers logo with, instead of the Long Island in the back, it's just Manhattan over here, as well as the Rangers text. It's done very nicely. I like how they even paid attention to detail and inverted the Rangers text that overlaps with the Manhattan image over there and inverted the colors to white. Very nice attention to detail over there. Next up, it is the Philadelphia Flyers logo, also in the shape of the Penguins logo. This kind of makes me angry looking at it, but it looks so nice. Look at that. A penguin, a flyer, whatever, the orange, the white, the black. It's a really nice combination over here. And they did a really good job. I like this one a lot, too. I think this one and the Chicago St. Louis mix are my 2 favorites so far. Next up, it is the Pittsburgh Penguins in the Flyers style. So it's got the elements of the flying penguin, but in the shape of the Flyers logo with the penguin nose sticking out over there. Or excuse me, the beak. That's what it's called, right? The beak. I like how they continue the outline, though. Yeah, it's very nicely done. The yellow swoops in. It has some nice shades over here. Next up, it is the Washington Capitals logo, also in the style of the Penguins. This is in the style of the Flying Penguin, but they have that Washington Eagle over here instead. Looks very slick. Very, very, very slick. Next up, it is the Los Angeles Kings in the shape of a duck. Actually, no, it's the other way around. This is the Anaheim Ducks in the shape of the Kings. This is an eye, that's an eye, and this right here is the beak. Yeah, that's a duck. That's the Anaheim Ducks logo in the shape of the Kings logo. I didn't even notice it upon first viewing, but the colors align. There is a duck in there. It's very subtle, but it works. That really does work. Oh my goodness. Next up, it is the Edmonton Oilers Calgary Flames styled logo. Nice, 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 nice. Flames, it's got the little flames up on here. This is really nicely done. I will say that this one is one of the more simpler ones, but that's kind of due to the nature of the logos themselves. And next up, it is the Edmonton Oilers logo in the style of the Kings. So 2 in the style of the Kings over here. EDM with the little droplet over there. Looks really nice. Kind of looks like something that you'd see in an NHL created team scenario, or something that you see on EASHL or whatever. Really flashy, very bright colors over there on that one. Next up, this is the San Jose Sharks logo in the style of the Kings. Oh, no. It's the Kings in the style of the Sharks, right. That is a king biting down on a hockey stick. This looks really good, actually. I'd wear that on the jersey. Heck yeah. That looks really, really nice. It kind of looks like the logo of a fictional hockey team, like something that you'd see in the movies, like a Mighty Ducks opponent or whatever, but like, this looks really, really cool in my opinion too. Then we have the Anaheim Ducks logo, or excuse me, the San Jose Sharks logo. Yeah, there we go. The San Jose Sharks logo in the style of the Ducks. It is the classic Ducks style, with the little triangle, the circle, the 2 hockey sticks, and then the logo with the mask. This is a shark over here. It looks very, very nice. That actually takes a lot of talent, doesn't it? I doubt it took a short amount of time to come up with a full-on shark design with a goalie mask on top of it and map it out accordingly, so this looks really, really nice. It looks so legit, not gonna lie. And then next up here is the Calgary Flames and Vancouver Canucks logo. The Canucks with the Flames style. It pisses me off taking a look at it, but boy oh boy, that looks beautiful. Then we have ourselves the Vegas Golden Knights in the style of the Capitals. This one makes sense. Vegas doesn't really have any rivals other than the Capitals, of course, because of their Stanley Cup Final Series. And last but not least, I believe, it is the Coyotes in the style of the Kings. So the 3 little badges over here inside the emblem, the hockey sticks, AZ, so instead of LA, and then Coyotes, Kings. This one looks really nice. It's really complicated, but that's kind of because the Kings logo originally is like that. And with that, we wrap things up. So again, a big shout out to Benchworm on Reddit, Benchworm on Instagram, and Benchworm Matt on Twitter. You made some incredible logos. These are so cool. And this is just custom fodder for those fake jersey sellers in China, because they're just gonna jump all over this probably. And honestly, if they're gonna make jerseys in the style of this, I might buy some. I'm gonna be honest. These look so nice. Just the sheer novelty of them and how much they can confuse people. I think it's so, so cool to look at. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Big shout out to Benchworm Matt, Social 99, and bye.